My name is Filip and I'm the Global Sales Director of Lasvit. I have been with Lasvit for 12 years. First 4 I have spent in Dubai, and then I moved to Hong Kong where I spent my last 8 years. Since the time I came to Hong Kong, I was also in charge of the Taiwanese market, so in the past 8 years I might have visited Taiwan maybe 30-40 times, and it has been always a pleasure and pleasant experience.
My name is Vojtech Havrda. I've spent 6 years in Asia now. The first 2 I studied Mandarin, at first in Beijing and then in Shanghai, and then I moved to Hong Kong to work with Lasvit. I'm an area manager, so together with Filip, I take care of our projects in Hong Kong, Macau, Taiwan and Japan. And I very much enjoy traveling to all those places. Taiwan is a very favorite place of mine. I've spent quite a lot of time there on my personal time, or like during vacations and visiting friends there, as well as clients.
I believe that the reason why we became successful in Taiwan, we started to work on projects there, is because the Taiwanese clients, they appreciate our aesthetics. They are looking for a luxurious product, they understand and respect quality, and they like professional collaboration. So therefore, it was for us an obvious choice, and we came back and we worked on more and more projects. Every client is different, every client is specific, and our success lies in being able to understand each individual client. So how we do business is we meet with a client and try to understand what they are looking for. So there is, it's not about what do Taiwanese like, but each client is individual. But of course, in general, they are looking for a specific aesthetics which we can, we as Lasvit, can design, and that's why they work with us. Typical behavior of Taiwanese clients is that, you know, they are very polite, they are very respectful, and sometimes it's not easy for them to say no, because they might consider it impolite. So for us it's really important to be able to read between the lines. When there is a little bit of hesitation, that might actually be a hint that this is not the direction we should go. So I believe that that's the difference maybe with you know, between European and Taiwanese customers, that the European customer doesn't, you know, is not afraid to say no, or not afraid, but it's not shy to say no. Whereas in Taiwan, you need to be able to read between the lines.
Our customers in Taiwan range from hospitality to residential towers, for example, or private residences. We focus mostly on bespoke projects where we help interior designer develop a custom-made feature for the client. But we also offer collections, which are standard products, and we collaborate with local retailers around the world to sell these products and offer them. So in Taiwan, we have a great partner retailer that we collaborate with. They help us sell the collections, and also support us sometimes in bespoke projects. And what is quite new for us is that because of the pandemic, we were not able to travel. And so our local retailer, who already has a lot of experience working with crystal glass, is helping us, for example, to do installations, where our installation supervisor from Czech or from Hong Kong is communicating with them online and sort of supervising, and our local partner helps us actually do the installation. This has become really important for us because our clients still want to be sure that we do a good job of the installation. So this has worked out really great.
In the past 14 years, we have been active in the market. We have had the opportunity to work on several prestigious hotels all around Taiwan. I can, for example, name the Grand Hyatt Taipei, Regent in Taipei, Okura, Eklat, Mandarin Oriental. Basically, most of the big hotels, Ambassador, most of the big hotels in Taipei have collaborated somehow with Lasvit. Now we are also working on the new Grand Hyatt, which is being built next to the City Hall. We have also worked on projects outside Taipei, like Sheraton in Hsinchu or Intercon in Taichung. So we have had quite a few opportunities to work on hospitality projects. We have also done quite a few very high-end private residences, where the names, of course, we cannot disclose. For me, the biggest challenge is the language. Not everybody in Taiwan can communicate in English. So I believe that even for Czech companies who want to consider coming to Taiwan, they have to take into consideration that the knowledge of Mandarin Chinese is quite important. On the international projects, hospitality projects, there is always somebody who speaks English, but it's always better when you have somebody in the team who can speak fluent Mandarin, and then the communication is much easier. So I believe that to enter the market, this is the language is the biggest challenge, whereas the culture, the communication, etc., I don't consider that as much of a problem or of a challenge, but the language definitely. And of course, during pandemic, there is no chance for us to travel to Taiwan, and we switched to online a lot, generally, globally, but the human touch is always required, so we cannot wait to have the chance to go back to Taiwan and revisit the discussions with our clients in person.
Lasvit is a very creative company. There are a lot of trends in the design world and in architectural world as well. And I think the challenge for us is to keep up with those trends and hopefully also try to set some of the trends. Keep creating beautiful and inspiring pieces of glass art installations and offer interesting ideas to our clients. I think globally it's always an interesting challenge for us.
I believe locally in Taiwan, the biggest challenge is to be able to get back to Taiwan, to be able to travel back there. And if we don't have the chance anytime in the near future, then the biggest challenge will be to motivate our clients to stay in touch with us, even online.
Because we are not able to travel, it has motivated us to get a lot better at online communication, whether that's presentations over Zoom or Teams, and making sure that we are able to engage with the clients and designers on the same way, or figuring out how to collaborate, how to work with when we, for example, present designs or samples. And something that we have been working more and more with is, for example, 3D renderings, VR, and so on, and technologies that we try to use to sort of bring us closer to the designer and the client, and really deliver the same experience. And that's been interesting. And in terms of challenges, on a more practical note, Taiwan is a seismic area. So that's something that we always keep in mind when we are designing. Already at the beginning of the designing process, we discuss how the feature will react if there is an earthquake. It's a very practical thing to think about already when you're designing the installations. So that's specific to Taiwan, for example.
In terms of, let's say, the localization, I believe the most important is the aesthetics, the culture. Taiwanese people are very polite people and very professional when you deal with them, when you do business with them. So the experience is generally great and not difficult to use too, but Of course, the aesthetics is different, and most of our designers are from the Czech Republic, and the Asian culture has its own specifics, its own graphics, and we try to accommodate, or our designers try to accommodate the Asian graphics in their designs and interpret them in some new way. We want to do it in an innovative new way, but at the same time respecting the local culture and making it attractive to Taiwanese people. So that's the local specific, which is, I believe, most important for us. My advice to anybody who wants to enter Taiwanese market is stay polite, humble and respectful, and then they are yours.
I was going to mention the being humble, because people sometimes they may have a tendency to think that they know something about everything, and I think it's just really important to be patient and learn to understand the environment and the way people think and the way people communicate, so that you're able to communicate well, and you're welcomed well, because you're a guest. And on a different note, what I have learned, if anything, I've learned keeping an open mind, and seeing opportunities for what they are, and working with very different clients. We come back to our team with all sorts of ideas, and most of them are ideas that maybe haven't been done before. And I think that's something that Lasvit does really well. We are able to take ideas that are new, or even come up with new ideas and make them work in a technical and an aesthetic way, and combine that and create something that really becomes a unique part of space. It creates experience. Or it helps to communicate something that our clients would like to communicate. So I think keeping an open mind is an essential part of that. I think that for markets such as Taiwan, it's very helpful to actually visit Taiwan and spend a considerable time there, because as Filip was mentioning about reading between the lines, these types of things are very hard to learn or understand the importance of if you don't get to know the people. I would say visit Taiwan.